What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Creatine, finally back with another video after almost 2 weeks of not uploading, and I'm sorry about not uploading last week. It's just very hard to tell stories with my roommate in the room, but he recently just got a job, so I'll finally have time to myself to make videos again like I was a couple weeks ago. So you guys will start seeing weekly uploads out once again here very shortly, and enough of me just yapping to you guys. Let's get into today's video. So this one, like the last one, is another pretty interesting one, and it's also a very recent one. This happened like a month after I turned 18, I believe, and on this day I wasn't really doing all that much, but something that I knew from I think the night before or something was that my one buddy, who we'll just call Carter, was in town from the state he lived in, we'll just say. And if you guys have seen previous stories on my channel about Carter, because I use the same name for him in every story, you know that we were about to get into some devious shit during this day. And yeah, Carter had basically hit me up this day. He had asked me what I was doing and told me that he wanted to hang out before he left the stadium, which I was always down for. I try to hang out with Carter once or twice before he goes back up into the state he lives in when he visits, so I told him I wasn't really doing all that much today. I think I was already with Seamus at this point in time because I know that he was there at my house then. So I kind of just let Carter know that I was down to hang out that day, but I was also with Seamus at that point in time, which he didn't care. He loves Seamus, so he had just let me know that he would be down at my house at some point that day. I think I might have even been making a video that day because he couldn't come over immediately for some reason. I don't really know. But he had just let me know that he would be down in a little bit, and I said, alright, bet, see you then. And then we fast forward a couple hours, and it starts getting a little bit later in the night. And now it's probably like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Me, Seamus, and Carter are all kind of just chilling in my room at this point in time, probably listening to some music. Me and Carter are probably smoking a little bit, because that's a lot of what we do when we hang out. And we were trying to figure out different things to do at this point in time. And we had discussed the possibility of maybe going to a club, but Carter, being only 17, had no option to exactly go or get into the club. And Seamus didn't have his ID at this point in time, and I don't remember as to why. He might have lost his wallet, because I know that he did lose it, and this could have been at that point in time. But anyway, we just had decided not to go to the club, and then I remembered that my one buddy from the previous story time I told, who I call just Kevin, was up at college still. I texted him. I was like, yo, is there anything going on tonight? Like any parties? And he's like, yeah, there's been people just walking around all night. Like, I'm over here with our buddy Joe right now, and you guys know Joe from the previous story times. I was like, okay, well, we'll be up. And he was just like, what do you mean? I said, me, Seamus, and Carter, we're all going to come up to the college, and we're all going to hang out and party a little bit. And he said, all right, just let me know when you're on the way and when you get here. And I was like, all right, bet. And after I had this conversation with Kevin, because we didn't exactly call each other, so I had to let Seamus and Carter know, like, what devious fucking questions I was asking him. I was like, yo, do you guys want to go to college parties tonight? And they're like, fuck yeah, it's not like we're doing anything else. So we walked up to my mom. We asked her if we could use the car to go over to the college campus. It was like 40 minutes away, maybe 35 with the way Seamus drives. And yeah, she did not care at all about us going over to this college because it was at the point in time where she actually let us use the car for things. And yeah, we had told her we'd put gas in the car and everything. And then we just had one more problem on our hands. We had to try and figure out how to get some alcohol for us to drink that night. And remember, guys, I don't actually exist, so don't repeat my actions. But we had started the discussion on how we would even come into alcohol because none of us were 21 at this point in time. Seamus is quite literally like 1 year off at this point, and he's almost actually 21 now. But yeah, we started talking to my mom about some things, and she's like, oh, this is still left over from like your birthday party, because my 18th birthday party, we got into a lot of fuck shit over at the trailer. And she pulls out this fucking big ass bottle of Jose Cuervo, and none of it was actually Jose Cuervo. And I don't remember exactly what all we put in it afterward. I just know that Seamus got an empty gallon jug, dumped this entire bottle down into the jug, and then I think the only thing I remember us putting into it was some Miller Lite, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we had essentially created a very shitty tasting Borg. And if you guys remember from the last story time, a Borg is essentially just a bunch of alcohols mixed together to get you the most fucked up possible. And yeah, our Borg was created. We had plans for the night, so we all just dipped out into my mom's car and we went up to the college campus. And like I said earlier, this campus was a good like 40 minutes away from where I lived at, but Seamus was just stepping on the fucking gas so we could get over there before everything shut down for the night. So we had made it there in like probably 30-ish minutes. And when we got in there, we parked at like this hospital area that we normally would park at when we go up there. And I texted Kevin, I told him we were there. And I don't exactly remember where Kevin and Joe met us at, but we had met somewhere like down the street, I'm pretty sure. And after we had all met up, we kind of like divided the gallon jug into these mini plastic water bottles. Like it looked like we had poured like gasoline or piss into these water bottles and then just started walking around with them. But yeah, we had distributed the alcohol into different bottles and we all started just walking down this street. And all you could see in this street was a bunch of just houses lit up with like neon lights, people walking around outside of them. Like, Kevin was not lying. Everybody was active as shit this night. And now we're all just walking around in front of these houses, and you can kind of see that some of them look like they're starting to close down the parties a little because there's a lot of people dispersing out of all the houses. Like, the frat guys are coming out asking people not to come in anymore. And within like a minute of us walking down this street, we meet up with this random dude I've never seen before. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. And we start talking to him. Seamus is asking him where the best places for parties are. He's like, these ones are pretty good, but everything's shutting down right now. Like, frat row is that way because there's literally like just a row of fucking frat houses in this campus area. And we're just talking to him a little bit more, and dude just starts passing around a tall can of twisted tea that he was drinking to everybody. And guys, I'm not going to recommend drinking after college students, but there's nothing more that I can do about it now since I've already done it. But after he passes the twee can around to us, we give him a little bit of what we've been drinking, and bro quite literally said, "Bro, this tastes like fucking piss. What is in here?" And we just start explaining to him whatever was in it, and afterward, he wishes us luck on finding parties to go to, and we all just start walking down the street again. And within like another minute, I see a fucking girl just walking around on a roof, like recording with her phone. And I'd never been in an environment like this before, because this came before the last Storytime did, so I'd literally never been to a fucking college before. Well, besides for a football camp, but that's besides the point. But we're walking down the street, and then we see this group of girls trying to get into this party, and the frat dude's like, "Oh no, like, we're done for the night, sorry, like, you guys can't get in." And we start getting like closer to them, and then they turn their attention over to us. They're like, "Hey, do you guys know where we can find parties at?" And we start explaining like somebody just told us about like frat row or something like that, and they're like, "All right, well, we're gonna go function hunt together." I kid you not, that's what the girls fucking said to us. And now there's like a group of, I think 9 of us, because I think there was 3 or 4 girls there, just walking around the street. Everybody was drinking, and we're all talking. We're all having a good time, surprisingly. Like, I'm not one for social interactions with people I just met, but I was actually like talking to people. I don't know if it was the fact that I was drinking or we were actually out in a positive-ish environment, but I was actually enjoying myself this night. And yeah, like me, Seamus, and Carter talking to these girls. Kevin and fucking Joe are just walking around, whipping the pens out, whipping the vapes out, hitting them. They're talking with the girls. And we're all just walking around trying to find parties now. And we all get into this big ass parking lot. And there's like a group of over 10 people probably just huddled around this car. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but the one like lead girl that was in the group that we conjoined with started trying to like talk to them, and she was just getting fucking ignored by like everyone there. And after like a minute of her trying to talk to them, I think they probably got annoyed, and they're like, "We don't know where any of the parties are at, like we all are done for the night," you know, kind of just like shutting down the idea that we could get into anything that night. And after we're done talking to them, we kind of just leave the parking lot and start walking down this alleyway. Then we get out to another street and start walking down it. There's even more parties shutting down. And then these girls start talking to us. They're like, "Hey, we have a Pong table back at our dorm. Would you all want to come hang out and play Pong?" And me, Seamus, and Carter are all like, "Yeah, I'd never fucking played Pong before, so I was going to get my shit stomped in by them." But I was down to go play Pong, and we're all just walking around. I think we started walking back towards the dorms at this point, and I'm just completely done by this point. I'm a lightweight normally, and whatever the hell was in that bottle, like 6 or 7 random liquors, just had me completely done with fucking reality by this point. I'm walking around quiet as shit. I think my face was probably red. And there was like themes to the parties we were trying to get into tonight, so I was dressed up in like fucking green. I had an Eskimo hat on. Like I looked like such a fucking goofball in this current moment. And we start getting like closer to the dorms. We're walking up like the staircase and shit like that. And we start talking to this random ass dude for some reason. I don't even remember as to why. And his voice was either just really deep or he was really fucking drunk. And I'm like the main one talking to this dude. I think Carter was too. And he was just standing there with his girlfriend. He didn't have anything left to drink. And I was like, hey, dude, you want to try this fucking alcohol that I brought with me? And he's like, sure, man. And he drinks it, and he's like, bro, this tastes like piss. Literally everybody thought that the fucking drink tasted like piss that night. And we finish up talking to him. We told him to have a good night, and then him and his girlfriend walk away. And we're literally about to go into the dorms, and Joe fucking drops on us that he just doesn't want to go hang out with them anymore. And I love Joe to death, but bro had us quite literally walk all the way up to these fucking dorms across the fucking campus in town, basically, just to not want to go hang out with people anymore. And on top of that, he'd also driven himself there to hang out with Kevin, so he didn't need us to drive him home or anything like that. Bro just wanted to leave and have all of us go back to my house, keep in mind. Like, he wanted to have everybody leave and we all just go hang out at my house again, which I don't think I volunteered myself to do. I could be wrong. I would have to ask Seamus or Carter about it. But yeah, Joe essentially had let us know, like, I want to go smoke over at Riddick's house. I don't want to go into the dorm. And we had all just agreed for some reason. I don't know as to why, because me, Seamus, and Carter still weren't ready to go home yet. And I don't even know if Kevin was either, but we had all started walking back over to the cars, and yeah, we had gotten to the cars. Seamus was good to drive because he hadn't been drinking, and we had dipped out back over to my house, and we had gotten there, and Joe and Kevin, I think, were the only two who smoked, because I was just so fucked up to the point where I didn't even want to do anything anymore. Like, I was done smoking for the night. I was done drinking. I think I let Carter or Seamus finish off my alcohol, and after that, I had passed the fuck out pretty much after Joe and Kevin had dipped out. And only really 2 other things had happened that didn't really involve me that night, and that's after me and Carter had both fallen asleep. Seamus had literally found another college party for us to go to. He just couldn't fucking get either of us up to leave, so bro just dipped out my back door and went over to this college after getting picked up. And I think the next day, or like a week or something after this, I don't know, Seamus had let me know that one of the girls that we were walking around with, like the ringleader of the group of girls, him and her had fucked just previously. I don't know as to when, but Seamus would go up to this college sometimes and just, I guess, hook up with people, and she was one of the people he had hooked up with, and I just thought that that was fucking hilarious. And yeah, that's pretty much where today's story time ends. I thought it was a bit of an interesting one, and it was one that I was going to sit on for a little bit, but I feel bad that I couldn't upload for the past, like, almost 2 weeks. So if you guys enjoyed today's story time, drop a like and comment some other story topics you guys want to see in the future. And I'll be live on TikTok around, like, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tonight, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Peace out.